The first line of a story is often the most important line, as it sets the tone for the rest of the story, and in a sense, can often summarize the entire story. For example, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, from Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. It was a dark and stormy night, Paul Clifford, or the popular Once Upon a Time, or the biblical In the Beginning, as we hear in Genesis and the Gospel of John. Almost 1 year ago, the Catholic Church began a Jubilee Year of Mercy, prompted by the initiative of Pope Francis. In his letter stating the reason for the Year of Mercy, the first line read, "Jesus Christ is the face of the Father's mercy." In that important first line, Pope Francis reminded the Church that to know Jesus Christ is to know mercy. For in Jesus, through his words, actions, and entire being, the mercy of God is living and visible in our world. Throughout this year, the Church has been focused on sharing the mercy of Jesus Christ through worship, acts of forgiveness, and in a visual way, through the opening of holy doors in each diocese around the world. For myself, this Year of Mercy has been a time of reflection on God's divine mercy and in the example of St. Faustina to renew my trust in Jesus. It is fitting then that as we come to this final week of the Year of Mercy and these final weeks of the church year, that we once again look to Pope Francis's letter, and this time to the final lines which began this year. He writes in those final lines, "From the depths of the mystery of God, the great river of mercy wells up and overflows unceasingly. It is a spring that will never run dry, no matter how many people draw from it. Every time someone is in need, he or she can approach it, because the mercy of God never ends." The gospel we just heard speaks of the end times, the end of the temple in Jerusalem, the end of political nations and kingdoms, the end of our lives, and even the end of the world. Despite these images, Pope Francis's final thoughts in his letter remind us of what never ends, the springs of God's mercy. In his second letter to the Thessalonians, St. Paul encourages us to work daily in the faith and to strive to be models for others to encounter Jesus' mercy. Every day is an opportunity to refresh ourselves in that mercy through prayer and penance, works of charity and love, and gestures of forgiveness. This final week of the Year of Mercy is an opportunity for us to pray that we may persevere in seeking the face of Christ and to stay true to our faith in Christ, to live Jesus' call to love, especially in the midst of our physical, emotional, and spiritual struggles. As we bring to a close this Year of Mercy, may the first words of our day and the last words of our day be words of mercy, until the day that we share in the fullness of God's mercy in heaven.